Hi guys. So today we will be actually starting off further of technical analysis. So we'll start off with that. Wait for 3 more minutes and then we'll start. All right. So till then I'm sharing my screen. So I think now you'll be able to see my screen properly. So we'll start with the technical analysis. So in technical analysis, I'll start with very basic, wherein we should know what is technical analysis. So in technical analysis, we have also mentioned few assumptions earlier, and we've seen that history repeats itself. So this probably is one of the most important assumption in technical analysis. So जब भी आप technical analysis करोगे आप history data को ही देखोगे. So that's the most important thing whenever you are doing technical analysis. So this thing you can just write in कि करते क्या हैं. It is basically history repeating itself. Okay. So it is the very important assumption that is attached to this particular analysis, that history repeats itself. Okay. So, as mentioned earlier, one of the key assumption in technical analysis is history repeats itself, and this probably is the most important assumption when it comes to technical analysis. Okay. So we can assume few things for the simplicity and for understanding of the concepts. So we will basically see the candlestick chart pattern, because we've seen other patterns also, like line chart is a one that is used, and there are multiple other, but for our analysis we will be using candlestick chart pattern, because candlestick chart pattern is the most simplest and easy to understand listing tool, wherein we will be using that for the technical analysis. All right. So there are few factors that are there. Factor one is stock has been falling for four consecutive trading session. That's factor one. And factor two is if today supposedly it's 9th of October and that's the fifth session, the stock is falling on relatively lower volume. And the third factor is the range in which the stock trades today is quite small compared to the last 4 days. So with all these three factors playing into background, let's assume on the next day, which is tomorrow at 10th of October, the fall in the stock get arrested and the stock rallies towards the positive close. So as an outcome for the third factor, the stock went up on the sixth day. So that is how it is. So जैसे time pass होता है, let's say after few months, the same set of factors is observed for fifth consecutive trading session. So हम सिक्स के अंदर एक्सपेक्ट कर सकते हैं कि पहले ऐसे हुआ था तो इस बार भी शायद ऐसे हो. So that's the basic thing कि um, अगर आपको नहीं भी समझ में आए, बेसिक चीज आप ध्यान रखो कि हिस्ट्री में सपोजिटली कुछ ऐसा हुआ कि कुछ दो ट्रेडिंग सेशंस में अच्छा परफॉर्म करा, फिर उसके बाद इट वेंट डाउन. So similar pattern can be observed at the current levels. So that is how it is. So history repeats itself. However, हमें ये जानने की जरूरत है that we need to make some assumptions when a set of factors are in panned out from the past trend. So ये भी होता है कि जो past में हो चुका है वो आज future में भी होगा. So we can expect the same outcome to occur as it is observed कि पिछले कुछ टाइम में हुआ है तो अभी भी होने की probability बन जाती है. Accordingly, we actually take into assumption which is the history repeats itself. Now we will talk about the candlestick pattern and what can we expect out of that. So कौन से candlestick pattern होते हैं and what can we expect from that. So candlestick basically हम use करते हैं to identify trading patterns. So patterns in turn basically हमें help करता है कि हम technical analyst set up कर सकें for our trades. And जो pattern होता है that is formed by grouping of two or more candles in certain sequence. However, some powerful technical signals जो हैं वो हमें identify करने पड़ते हैं in order to know whether there's a trend reversal or whether the situation that is there. ठीक है. So candlestick is broken into दो candlestick होते हैं. So just a second. So there are two candlesticks that are there. One is single candlestick chart pattern रहता है और एक होता है आपका सिंगल के अलावा मल्टीपल कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न्स जो रहते हैं. सो दिस थिंग यू कैन राइट डाउन. देयर इज सिंगल कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न और जो दूसरा रहता है दैट इज सिंगल के अलावा दैट इज मल्टीपल कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न रहता है. सो अब अगर हम सिंगल कैंडलस्टिक की बात करते हैं, सिंगल कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न की अगर बात करते हैं, सो इसके अंदर आपको क्या करना है सिंगल कैंडलस्टिक के अंदर दे in this case you will actually see into account various patterns that are formed. One is marabuzu जिसके अंदर there can be a single, there can be a bullish marabuzu or there can be a bearish marabuzu. तो marabuzu you can just write and I'll tell you कि कैसा बनता है. So there are two marabuzu. One is bullish marabuzu, another is bearish marabuzu. Second जो रहता है that is single candlestick के अंदर it is dozy. I'm just naming. अभी हम इनको one by one समझेंगे भी. Third that falls is spinning top. So that is spinning top. Fourth that comes is paper umbrella जिसके अंदर hammer आता है और hanging man आता है. So fourth is paper umbrella. ठीक है. So it is paper umbrella. Just a second. So it is paper umbrella जिसके अंदर दो आते हैं. One is hammer, another is hanging man. Okay, this is hanging man. Fifth that comes into picture is the shooting star. Okay, so that's the shooting star. और मल्टीपल की अगर बात करें ये तो सिंगल कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न हो गए. अगर हम बात करें ऑफ मल्टीपल कैंडलस्टिक पैटर्न तो इसके अंदर अलग अलग रहते हैं. So we'll talk about each one of them in detail. So multiple candlestick में there are others like first if we talk about it is engulfing pattern. Engulfing pattern में दो आते हैं. One is bullish, another is bearish. ठीक है. Second that comes into picture is dozy. So it's a dozy that comes. Third that comes is spinning top. Spinning top. Sorry, we are talking about multiple candlesticks. So एक तो engulfing रहता है जिसके अंदर bullish और bearish होता है. Next that comes is harami pattern. So don't go by the name. It's just a Japanese word that is there. So it is harami pattern. This is harami जिसके अंदर again bullish आता है. Another that comes is bearish pattern. Okay. Third that comes into picture is piercing pattern. Piercing pattern. Fourth that comes is morning star. Okay. Fifth that comes into picture is evening star. Okay. So of course we must be wondering what that means. So as mentioned, पहले वाले chapters में भी this is basically original Japanese candlestick pattern. So जो candlestick pattern है वो help करता है कि traders जो है वो develop करें अपना complete point of view. हर एक pattern जो है वो comes inbuilt risk mechanism also is there. So candlestick give an insight into entry क्या रहेगी. So what should be the entry point and everything of that sort. So it tells everything. So now there are few assumptions that are specific to candlestick. Before we jump and start about these patterns, there are few assumptions that we need to keep in mind. These assumptions are specific. Kindly ignore the noise. There's some construction going on. Sorry for that. So now there's some assumptions that are there. They're specific to candlestick to pay a lot of attention. ये जो assumptions हैं, we will keep referring back to these assumptions quite often later on also. So at this stage, ये जो assumptions हैं that are not obvious to you, I will explain them in greater detail जैसे हम आगे बढ़ेंगे, and we'll do keep these assumptions. You can actually keep at the back of your mind. So buy strength and sell weakness. Strength जो है वो basically represent करता है अगर एक बड़ा bullish candle बन रहा है. So I had introduced you with the bullish candles and everything. So if it's like this, so अगर कोई बड़ा ऐसा, so this particular blue भी हो सकता है, it can be green also. So bullish can be depicted with both the colors. So अगर ऐसा कुछ है या ऐसा कुछ है तो बड़े कैंडल्स हैं ये दोनों. What does this depict? This basically depicts strength. ठीक है. कैंडल बड़े हैं तो it will depict strength. अगर छोटे हैं तो it will not depict strength. ठीक है. So strength is basically referred as bullish blue candle or green candle. और अगर weakness है that is depicted by the bearish candle. ठीक है. So bearish candle जो है that can be a red candle like this, or it can be red को कोई और color से भी depict कर सकते हैं, depend on what color you want. So weakness जो है that is generally depicted by the red or the bearish candle. Hence whenever you are buying, ensure करो कि blue candle day की बन रही है, whether it's you are selling, ensure मतलब जो भी है, अगर green candles बहुत सारी बन रही हैं that means people are buying that particular stock more, और अगर red candle ज्यादा बन रही है that means there are more sellers in the market. मतलब sellers जो है market के अंदर ज्यादा है. Apart from that, we will also look into other patterns like you should be flexible with pattern, and the quantifying and verifying we'll do every time. So pattern जो है that basically states a criteria when there could be a minor variation in the pattern owing to the market condition. So one need to have bit flexibility होनी चाहिए, ठीक है. However, one need to be flexible within limits. Hence, it always require quantification of the flexibility, and you will have to look for the prior trends also. So if you look at the bullish pattern, the prior trend, you could also look at the bearish pattern. Likewise, looking for these patterns makes a sense because those patterns can repeat today also. So that is how it is. So now, since we've already seen a lot of things, so technical analysis में the most important key is history tend to repeat itself, and we can modify this assumption by adding certain different angles also. Second, that we've read is candlestick pattern is broken down into single and multiple candlestick pattern, and there are three important assumptions that are specific to the candlestick pattern. Buy strength, sell basically signifies weakness, and you should be flexible in quantifying and verifying, and look for the prior trends. That is something we will be doing. Now let's just look for the other what other patterns that are there. Single candlestick pattern में कौन से patterns बनते हैं, we look for those. So that is something that is there. All right. So just a second. All right. So that is how it is, and we will also make sure that we do each and everything in detail. That is something that is there. Okay. So Abhi, currently we'll take 5 minutes break and then we'll start off. All right. Till then, you can just revise whatever is told, and then we'll start with single candlestick chart patterns.